Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, I see a couple of you guys sitting here. Good morning. Hey, let me know in the chat, can you see me and can you hear me? Welcome. Good morning, good morning. Let me know in the chat if you can see me and hear me. Hello. Let's see. Hello. It shows I'm getting volume here. Okay, so you guys get awesome. So welcome. It has been a while since I've done this, so I am really excited to be here today live with you guys. Like I said, it has been a while. Let me pull this up. Hold on. So it's been a while, and I'm just glad to be here with you guys today. Get my notes over here. What we're going to talk about today. All righty. All right, so coming in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer to the government. So put that in the chat so I'll know. Maybe I'll pull it up over here. So while you're doing that, let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer to the government. All righty, and I'm just pulling up my notes on my iPad so I can see you over here. Who you are, where you're joining from, what you offer to the government. And then while we're doing that, I just have a question. Do you know what your goal is? What's this, October 18th? Yeah. Do you know what your goal is for the rest of the year? What's your goal for your business? Okay, I got it up over here. Yeah. Okay, I don't need this. Let's put that back over there. All right, let's see who's here today. Don. Hey. Joanna, good morning, afternoon. I don't know where you guys are at. Stephanie, hello. OC, hello. Michael Hawkins, hey. It says VV from California. Welcome. Arthur, hey. Shanti, hello. Karen, hello. And somebody Roger. Hey. Okay, what are you guys? Let's see, what are you offering to the government? All right. Cleaning company, transportation, auditing and compliance. Ooh, cool. And disaster recovery services. Cool. Hey, Michael, you're in Arlington, Texas. You're up the street from me. Okay. Yeah. Danielle, welcome. You're in Houston. I'll be in Houston quite often. I was down there, July and August. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're talking about how to become a federal government contractor. So that's what we're talking about today. That's why, one, I wanted to just know who you are, where you're joining us from, and what you offer to the government. And Joanna's in Forney, Texas. That's right up 20 from me, so not far, maybe 20 minutes. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Sean, you're in Atlanta. I'm coming to Atlanta next week. I'll be in the ATL. All right, cool. So we're talking about how to become a federal government contractor. So I do want to welcome you all here. And I know that you're in some place in the process of becoming a government contractor. So that's probably why you're here today. So thank you for taking time out of your day to come join us for this live here. So I won't keep you guys long. I know some of you may be on your lunch breaks, in between projects, meetings, and things like that. So you're here probably for one of three reasons. One, you want to expand your reach, take on larger projects, and then you want to take advantage of the competitive advantage that you could possibly have with the federal government. So I get it. You may be tired of the smaller projects that you're doing in the private sector. You could even be doing some state, city, county projects, but you want to play with the big boys, right? And you want to get some of those larger contracts. So there's a process to that and to becoming a government contractor. So we're going to talk about that. And I just want to share with you a few of the things you need to have in place. Anytime I come before you guys, especially live for a training, you'll leave with some nuggets. So look for the nuggets, something that you can take from this training today and take action on it and move your business forward. And then also, you guys know anytime I come live, at the end, I open it up for Q&A. So stay around for that. So I don't know, maybe it's my way of saying thank you for coming to join me live, but I always answer a few questions. Okay. So I don't want to take for granted that you guys know who I am. So I'll briefly just tell you who I am. I'm Felicia Streeter Dupree. The Streeter will be dropped here soon. So I'm making that transition with the name. So I'm leaving Streeter for a minute so that you guys will know that it's me when you see Felicia Dupree coming in the future. Okay. So, but that's who I am, Felicia Dupree. And I work with small business owners just like you guys, whether you're minority owned, woman owned, service disabled veteran owned, but small businesses, helping you guys make the move into government contracting. I take you guys from not knowing where to start, the information overload, those bidding nightmares, and I give you guys a step-by-step process. It's really 5 phases that we go through to teach you how to navigate the government RFP process and start securing government contracts and even positioning your business to be ready for the 8A program if that's a goal. All right. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about the approach. So let's start with your approach. So I don't even have it outlined here. I just have some notes. We're going to talk about this today. The first thing is you have to look at your approach. So just depending on where you're at in the process. So if you want to let us know in the chat, where are you at in your process of making the move to government contracting? So I'm going to give you some examples and we're going to talk about this. Do you have a SAM registration that's active? So is that active? Do you have your certifications in place? Do you know which agencies you will target? Are you finding opportunities to bid? And then when you find opportunities, do you know how you will approach those opportunities? So like, where are you at in the process? Okay, so one of the things is your approach. So now we're talking about getting to the bid table. That's in essence what we all want to do, right? Get that first bid done fast, get it under our belt so that we can move on from there. We always say the first one is the hardest. And we also say, you know, the first million is the hardest. Okay, so once you do it one time, you can do it again. So with that being said, where are you guys at? So let's see. Don says he's registering today. So I'm gathering you're talking about your SAM registration. Glide Health, good morning, afternoon. You're trying to figure out how to find the right opportunities to bid. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, and a part of that is knowing your approach. Okay. In order to know what your approach will be, you need to know what your capacity is. All right. So your capacity has to be in alignment with the opportunity that you're looking at putting in a bid on. So with that being said, one of the things you have to do is look at the opportunity and see what is your best approach to that opportunity. And that starts with you knowing your business, where you're currently at, what type of opportunities can you handle, what size projects can you handle, what resources do you currently have in place. You know those things, then you can look at the opportunity and determine what's your best approach. So looking at contracts with the federal government, your approach could be, you look at an opportunity, you find an opportunity, and you're like, okay, I meet the requirements, so I'm going to bid on this opportunity as a prime contractor. So you could do that, okay? Or you may look at the opportunity and say, I don't have all the resources available, because you could have them, but maybe you're already working on projects, but I don't have them available, or you just don't have the resources at all to do it, or the know-how. And so you may say, well, you know, this is a good opportunity. I could definitely participate on this project. So instead of being a prime contractor, I'm going to look at it from the perspective of being a subcontractor. So what does that look like? So if you're going to be a prime contractor, that means you're going to run the project. Okay. But even still, you have to look at it and see, how will you perform on the project? Will you do all the work yourself? Are you going to outsource some of the work? Will you outsource some of it to other subcontractors? Will you be required to outsource some of it to other subcontractors? Will you have employees work with you on the project, independent contractors? Like, what does it look like? How will you perform? And then if you're going to be the subcontractor, that's fine too. So now you have to figure out which prime contractors are looking at bidding on that particular opportunity. And then you have to connect with them, build that relationship and submit your bid through them. And so that's why in my Contractors Edge Bootcamp, one of the things we talk about in phase 4, and I'm going to share the phases with you here today, but in phase 4, we talk about partnering. And that's where you may partner with a larger company on a project. And so you may have to reach out to them. And I would say, you're going to build relationships and things like that anyway, but you'll reach out to them and then you'll be their sub on the project. Okay. All right, great. So that's the one thing. You need to know what your approach is. Now, I teach my clients in general terms, you're going to say, okay, for the next 6 months until you get to a new level in your business, this is what my approach will be. Now, as other opportunities present themselves, you can always adjust, but in general terms, as you're being proactive in your approach, you will go after things in that perspective. Now, also, I teach you guys how to look at each opportunity individually and then decide what's the best approach based on what the requirements are as well. Okay, so that's approach. You need to know what your approach will be moving forward from today. So if you know that, let me know in the chat. Will you be a sub or a prime? So you can put a 1 for subcontractor. You can put a 2 for prime contractor. Which one are you ready for? 1 subcontractor, 2 prime contractor. Okay, Glide Health. And tell me your name. They said prime, Don, prime, Michael, sub, Joanna, sub. Hey, Nita, prime, Fly Solo, prime, VV, prime. Okay, Kim, hello. Want to be a prime. Okay, that's Marcus. Okay, Erica, not sure. No worries. We can always help you figure that out. Okay, great. Great. Okay, Glide. Who was Glide? Marcus. Okay, so you're ready to do both. Okay, good. Okay. So I asked you guys earlier, what are you selling to the government? So all of you should know that, right? What will you offer to the government? With that being said, you have to match your NAICS codes with what you offer. So you need to know what those NAICS codes are, because that drives everything. That drives you being able to find out which agencies you'll target, which agencies are putting out the type of opportunities that you can provide a product or service on. So those NAICS codes are important. What I want to say about that, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, but anyway, whatever it was, I lost it. So, but you need to know what your NAICS codes are. Okay, that's very, very important. Also, when you know your NAICS codes, again, you can find the agencies that are putting out those type of opportunities. Once you do that, you guys know this is the beginning of the fiscal year for the federal government. So now you can go look at their forecast and see what opportunities they plan to have come out over the next year. So we're talking about from today, which is still the beginning of October, all the way through September 2024. That information allows you to be proactive and be ready for when those opportunities hit the streets. Like, there's so much you can do with that information that comes within the forecast. And that's something I do share with my clients in the boot camp. We won't get into all the different ways you can use a forecast here today, but know that you can use it to find opportunities that's coming down the pipeline. And so it allows you to, for example, if you go look at it today and you see, oh, here's an opportunity that's coming out in January. And you look at it and you're like, well, I don't have the capacity for it right now. Like, I don't have the resources to do this, but it's October. So now you have time to build up your capacity, to expand on your resources. And if you want to maybe team with another company, you can kind of put that in place. So you have time to do that. Okay. All right. So great. So if you guys are enjoying what I'm sharing so far, like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. All right. I see some of you guys have already did that. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, and we're going to move on, and I want to share with you a little bit about what capacity means so you guys will know. So when I say capacity, again, I'm talking about the resources you have, people, those relationships where you can have people perform on the project, cash flow, right? Sometimes you have to float the project until it can float itself. If you need bonding for what you offer, do you have that in place and how much? So you need to know your capacity. And then how many projects can you manage at one time? If you're going to be the one managing the projects, how many can you manage at one time? And then do they all have to be in the same area? Are you open to going across state lines? What does that look like for you? And you should always know your capacity. Always, because that will also help you in determining which opportunities you will bid. Because I had a client that she was in the boot camp and she won 2 contracts while in the boot camp. And it's 6 weeks, but she won 2 contracts. And so if she didn't have capacity, that would have been a problem because it was back to back. 1 week she won one, I think, I don't remember the numbers exactly, maybe 48.5. And then the next week she won another one for 47,000. And so you have to have capacity to perform on those opportunities if awarded. So when you bid, you have to know what your capacity is, know that you will be able to perform if awarded the contract, and especially if they come back to back. Okay. All righty. So we talked about approach. We talked about what you're going to sell, those next codes, and how you can use that. And then we talked about capacity. Okay. So as you make the move into government contracting, if you want to build a successful business, you're going to go through 5 phases. Now, I know some people in programs, they give you pieces of various phases. And I see some of them updating it now. They have come on the scene here recently. I think, I've been doing this way longer. When I started, I think it was like maybe one other person teaching on this. And so we have new people on the scene. Some of them have come through my program and they're pretty much saying the same thing, which is fine. That just means we're doing something right. So I'm cool with that, because it's always, we work with those that we resonate with. So that's cool. Ultimately, my goal is to change the game for myself, my family, and the generations to come, and ultimately have that spill out into the community. So how do we do that is more people, because I can't service everybody anyway. So I'm okay with other people doing the same thing. Doesn't bother me. You'll go with whoever you resonate with. So no worries there. But let's get into the 5 phases. So this is what I also teach in my programs, my Contractor Edge Bootcamp program. And I'll share a little bit about that with you guys too here towards the end. But right now, if you want the 5 phases, if you're taking notes, you're going to want to write this down. And if you're not taking notes, you're going to want to write this down, because I'm getting ready to lay the 5 phases out for you step by step that you need to do to build a successful government contracting business that you can get to the $1 million mark. All right. So grow your business to the $1 million mark, and then also be able to sustain that growth. Okay. Because we don't want you to be a one-hit wonder. We want you to get there and be able to sustain being a federal government contractor and being successful at it. Okay. All right. So here we go. And then I'll open it up for some Q&A. Okay. So here we go. The 5 phases. Phase 1 is position. And let me just say, these 5 phases has been tested, going on. It's been over 20 years and helped hundreds and hundreds of clients as well. So it works. Phase 1 is position. You have to position your business in the federal government marketplace. And so briefly, how do you do that? I'm going to tell you a few things you're going to do. 1, you're going to have that active SAM registration, certifications, and then you also have to create your marketing tool, which is your capability statement. But we take it a little bit further than that. We look at preferences and we look at capacity. So it's always something a little bit different within everybody's program, but I give it all to you. That way you don't have to come back. Okay. So here's phase one. Here's what you'll do. You'll redirect your focus to building a solid government foundation that will ensure you are prepared and positioned to bid government contracts. You will discover where your capacity needs to be, which is very, very important. We talked about that, to perform on your target client's projects. So we need leave nothing to chance there. That is positioning. That's phase one. Once you move from there, and that phase, literally, you could sit down and do that in a day and not even take all day. Okay, so I always tell people it doesn't take all day to make money, especially when you know the steps to take and within those steps what you need to do. So when you're not trying to figure it out, or you have to keep running back to Google to see what's the next step, if you have it laid out for you, it doesn't take all day. All right, so phase number two is perform. So in this phase, this is where you will identify your target agency or agencies. And I like the 3 or 5 max, because there's a lot of agencies, and you'll learn, we talk about this in a boot camp, you can't effectively target all of them. So we want the ones that, are the best ones, because we want to hit our sweet spot. If you can find the sweet spot, the money will flow very easily. Okay. So that's what we're doing in phase two. And then again, once you find out the target agency, you can start looking for opportunities. You can start looking at the forecast. Now you're preparing to move to phase three. So here's phase two. You'll implement our client validation system to screen agencies for better client selection and opportunities. You'll identify your sweet spot. I talked about that. You'll learn what your clients have coming down the pipeline and know what gaps and deficiencies you need to address to be prepared and ready for when those opportunities hit the street. So remember, I talked about that, looking at the forecast, being proactive. We talked about that earlier, right? All right. Then you'll move into phase three. Phase three is where you're going to start bidding on opportunities. Okay. So in phase three, we talk about the solicitations, breaking it down, pulling out the requirements, writing a responsive proposal. We have a template in there for a lot of things that you're going to be doing. There's templates already there, but you'll have a template that you'll use. You see my dog? Okay, this is not my dog. Really, it's my daughter's dog, but she likes to be a part. And she stays with me all day. And my daughter's over there in her office, but yeah, I'm talking about you. She's looking at me. So anyway, the proposals, we're looking at pricing. There's a pricing spreadsheet. Everything dealing with navigating the RFP process. Oh, she's being real extra. She fine. She all in the camera. She don't even know. And so those are the things that we're focusing on. All right, so here's what you'll do. You'll learn what to include in your bid and proposal, assuring you include all your important pricing numbers and costs for a profitable closeout, because a lot of times people are closing out projects and find out at the end it's not profitable because those numbers were not correct. And so we don't want that at all. All right. So you leave nothing to chance. You'll learn how to break down solicitations, pull out the requirements, along with must-know information that will rate you responsive so that you win more contracts, because we want you to get to the bid table as quickly as possible. Okay. And then you're going to move into phase 4, which is partnering. We talked about this, about your approach and building those partnering relationships so you have them when you need them. So here you're going to learn how to expand your resources, increase your capacity, and build your past performance using relationships that are mutually beneficial and outrageously profitable. And I say this all the time. Anytime you're creating relationships, they need to be mutually beneficial and outrageously profitable. And if you do that, you can run with that relationship for years and years. And so I do have people, they approach me and they're like, hey, they want to partner and this and that. And it's like, I'm only going to partner with so many companies at a time. And it has to make sense as well. But when you find relationships that works, people are going to stick with those relationships. Okay. It's kind of like capacity. We can only do so much. And so, yeah, when you find one that works, stick with it. And the best way to do that is make sure it's mutually beneficial and outrageously profitable for everyone involved. Okay. So you'll get consistent here by increasing your leverage points, by supplementing your resources to increase your project size and profits with the right resources at the right time, using the right strategies. And that's how we talked about approach as well. Okay, so that's important. And then phase 5, this is where you will start to accelerate your government contracting results and learn to control your growth for long-term sustainability. You'll focus on marketing and developing new business to generate leads and build your pipeline. So phase 5 is all about marketing and business development. Now, here's the thing. These 5 phases, we talked about position, perform, profit, partner, and pace. Here's how this works. Now, coming in, you go through all 5 phases. After that, initially, every 6 months to a year, or when you hit a new level in your business, you have to go back and reposition. You have to go back through the perform phase. Okay. So it's kind of like new level, new devil, and you have to reassess. Phase 3, profit. You will always be in that phase because you should always be looking for opportunities and bidding new opportunities. You should always be doing that as long as you're a government contractor and you want to grow your business and make money and have consistent cash flow. All right. Phase 4, partner. Same thing. You're always going to be developing new business relationships, maybe having to get new workers and things like that. So you'll always be in that phase as well as pace, phase 5, where you're doing your marketing and business development activities. That's something you'll always be doing as well, because you always want to have leads coming into your business. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys, but that's the 5 phases that you go through as you're, building out your government contracting business. And let me just tell you guys, if your goal is to submit a bid this year or even first quarter of next year, you need to start right now on building out your government side of the business and doing these things and putting these things in place. You can't wait until you have an opportunity before you to try to figure out how to write a proposal, because you probably won't have enough time. And if your SAM registration is not active, then you can just forget it anyway. So be proactive, get things in place before you need them. All right. So if you're 6 months out or anytime within the next 6 months, you need to start working on that like ASAP. All right. So that's the 5 phases. So we're going to go ahead and open it up for Q&A and see what questions you guys have. And then let me just share with you, because someone asked here about the boot camp. So let me share with you about the boot camp. So I do have registration open for the Contractor's Edge boot camp. Round 7 starts next week on the 24th. So you guys, any of you that are not in it already, you're definitely welcome to join us inside of the Contractor's Edge boot camp as I walk you through those 5 phases. Here's how it works. You will get immediate access to the on-demand training modules when you sign up, and you get lifetime access to the modules. In addition to that, you get 6 live group sessions with me. Similar to this, you'll see me. It's via Zoom, so I can see you as well. We can share our screen. We can workshop any questions or challenges you have. You get feedback on your assets as you create them. Remember, we're giving you templates. You take them, tweak them, make them your own, but helping you through that process, helping you with your first bid as well, making sure you broke down the solicitation correctly, make sure your proposal is good, pricing, you're not leaving things out. So helping you get that first bid done fast. That's the goal of the boot camp, to get your first bid done fast within the 6 weeks. Okay. Again, what did I say? We start on the 24th. Am I leaving anything out? I don't think so. If you have any questions about it, you can ask. The investment right now to join us is $2,000. You can do one payment of $2,000, or you can pick the payment plan option. I think we have, I know it's a 3-pay option, a 4-pay option. So you can pick one of those as well. If you want to do the payment plan option, either works. You get the same access, and we get started next week. So remember, if you're thinking of getting into this in the next 6 months, you need to get started now. All right. And allow me to help you guys make that move. Oh, and we have a Facebook group as well. So you'll get access to the Facebook group as well. Okay. Here, let me put the link. So you can go to firstbiddonefast.com. firstbiddonefast.com. So I put the link down there for you guys. You can check it out. If you want to join us, go ahead and do that. Would love to have you join us. We do have some spots available still if you want to join us for round 7. All right, so I'm going to answer some questions here. We're doing really good. 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. Nita says, how do we find the codes? So your next codes, you just search, you can go nextcodes.com and then this page will come up where you can search your next codes. And basically what you do, I don't know what you're offering to the government, but let's just say you're doing trucking and transportation. You can just type in trucking transportation and the next codes will pop up for you. And so it's, here, I'm going to pull one up real quick for you because I have it on mine. So I'm going to put the link in the chat so you can grab that real quick. There you go. I put it in there for you, Nita. All righty, let's see. Oh, it scrolled on me. So VV, and I forgot what your name is. I'm sure you told me, did you? No? Okay. Anyway. VV, tell us your name. So where do you find those forecasts? So remember I said, 1, you need to know what you're going to offer. From there, you got to find those next codes. Once you do that, you can find the agencies that are in alignment with what you plan to offer. And then once you do that, some of the forecasts you can find from the agency's website, or you can go to acquisition.gov and then you'll find all of the forecasts there. And then, you know, it's by agency. That's why you need to know your target agency first. Great question. All right. Is this a question from Erica? Let me see. Nope. Okay. All right. PWC. Shaquella. Am I saying that right? Hello. Hello. If I didn't say hi to you, hi. Hey, and if you haven't gave this a thumbs up, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. And if you want, share it out. I'm sure it's a button at the bottom. Just share this out right now while we're going through the Q&A. Share it out and let someone else know about government contracting. Okay, Black 12 21 2. What's your name? Will this live be saved to your page? Absolutely. Yes, it will. Sean says, Sean, your name looks familiar. Did we talk in the past about government contracting? So Sean says, is it best to start as an LLC or sole proprietor? You want to have some type of entity structure. Which entity structure works best for you? I don't know. That's something you would talk with your CPA or attorney about, but definitely you want to have an entity structure set up. Okay. Oh, Black 12 22. Okay, is Sean. Is that the? No, that's 2 different people. Okay, so we have 2 Seans on here. Okay, cool. Okay, so Don says, when registering, is it okay to apply for multiple next codes? Yes, and we talk about that in the boot camp and why you want to do that and how that's to your benefit. But yes, but they have to be the right next codes too. So you're not just pulling next codes, but yes, it's okay to have multiples. Okay. Glide Health. Let's see. I'm a copywriter and email marketing specialist. I write web page copy, emails, articles, newsletter, blogs, etc. That's interesting because I just saw, I think we were on was it yesterday? A client call. What was yesterday? Tuesday. Yep. So we were on a group client call yesterday and I went into sam.gov to help one of the clients find some opportunities to bid, like live while we were on the Zoom, just share my screen. And we saw some on marketing. And so, yeah. So let me see what your question is. But how do I find opportunities specifically for the professional services I offer? So it's the same as finding any other opportunities. And if you're having problems doing that in the boot camp, that's definitely something I can literally show you how to do and actually workshop it with you and actually go in there and find some for you. But yeah, we saw some yesterday. So if you're not on there, you want to get on there if you want to be at those that's out there right now. And I think they close probably in the next couple of weeks. I can't remember the dates. I think something was November 3rd, but yeah. Oh, somebody had an earthquake alert in California. Well, I hope you're okay. Okay, so Jamila, hello. So Jamila says, I'm working on, okay, your service disabled veteran, a service disabled veteran on bid. Okay. I will be subcontracting. My question is, how do I manage the limitations of subcontract with another total small business? I don't know what you mean by how do you manage the limitations of subcontract. I don't know exactly what you're saying. Are you saying the requirements say that you can only sub out so much? If that's what you're saying, or in general terms, you only want to sub out a certain percentage, then yeah, so you have to know what you're offering. You have to know what it will entail, what it will take, and then you pull pieces of that and you can sub it out and you manage it that way. So for example, let's take construction. We always use construction because it has so many pieces to it, and it just, if you can figure out the construction contracts, you can figure out anything. So let's say construction and say we have cement, electrical, drywall. So that's 3 different phases right there. And so we're going to sub those 3 out to 3 different companies. So we'll look at it and see of the total project, how much of it is drywall, how much of it is electrical, and like that. And then you figure out the percentage that way. So that's how you can figure out, how much or what percentage you're subbing out to whoever. Hopefully that answers your question, Jamila. If not, you can let me know if you were asking something else. Vivi says, did you say where to look for the jobs? What jobs? We're talking about contracts. But one of the places is sam.gov, but there's other places as well. And we go through those in the boot camp because I want you guys to be proactive. Sam.gov is great, but it's out for bid unless they're doing a pre-solicitation or something like that. And if you don't know that term either, you need to be in the boot camp. But yeah, you can go to sam.gov for sure. And there's other places as well. Are there many opportunities for realtors? Erica asks. Yes, and many. What do you mean, right? But yes, there's opportunities for realtors. I've helped realtors as well. All right, Michael says state level government in Texas. A lot is construction contracts. How to find subcontract jobs for delivery opportunities. So finding the opportunities is the same across the board. It's not a matter of what you offer. And that's why, remember, I took you guys through the 5 phases: positioning and how to perform. And so you have to go through those 2 phases in order to find the opportunities, no matter what you're doing, whether you want to be a prime or a sub. If you're going to be a sub, then you have to find the opportunities and find out who's going to be the prime. Remember, we talked about that earlier. And then you would approach the prime, Michael, for those subcontracting opportunities. So that's one way you could do it. Okay. Somebody, Candra's TV or something. I don't know who that is. Can you bid for anything that okay, wait a minute. Can you bid for anything that you're not specialized in? Depending on what it is, you have to be able to perform. So it depends on what it is. Now, if you're bidding to supply paper towel and toilet paper, well, you don't have to specialize in that to do that. But if you're going to bid a construction contract, you got to be able to deliver. Now, how will you deliver is another conversation, but you have to be able to do the work or have the team to do the work. But then I suggest you still need to have some type of knowledge about it, because you don't want to, have a project and you don't know how to manage it or anything. That's a whole nother conversation. Okay. All right. So great questions there. If I missed your question and you put it up at the very top, you can go paste it back and let me see it now, and I can possibly answer a couple more. Other than that, we're going to get ready to wrap up. Again, if you guys want to check out the boot camp, join us in the boot camp. We start next week. I'll put the link down here, firstbiddonefast.com. And I would love to have you guys join us. I love talking government contracting. I really do. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys too, those of you that join the boot camp, remember you get lifetime access to the material. Also, in 2024, first quarter, second quarter 2024, we're going to start opening up for partnering relationships where you can partner with my company. Yep. And if it's not my company, it may be someone else in there, and we help facilitate that as well. Someone else that's in the program. So you will, yep, a year where you have the ability to be able to do that. And of course, everything has to be in alignment. It has to fit and make sense, but you'll have opportunities to that. So partner relationships are usually considered for those that have went through the program. All right. So that'll be another opportunity that you'll have made available to you. All right. So any final questions? Definitely don't forget, go check out the bootcamp at firstbiddonefast.com. If you'd like to join us, make sure you do that. Would love to have you join us. Apple, hello, Apple in. Is it possible to operate as a prime contractor with a one-person business? Yes. Brian Knight, hello. I hope I said that right. Okay, you responded to an RFI for a custom state software project. I was asked to do a demo tomorrow. The software doesn't exist yet. I was going to create it once one. Not too sure what demo expectations are. So I would run them through it like it's not live yet, letting them know that, but you could probably run them through. I don't know what they're looking for because I didn't see the RFI that you submitted on, but you could walk them through what it would look like, how it would work, right? Think of it like this. Say you were going to walk them through the software and their internet went out or something, and you're there live and they're like, okay, well, just tell us about it. So you could have pictures, graphics, things like that to show what you're talking about, how it will look maybe inside of the platform, something like that. Great question. And good job. Good job. All right. So again, I appreciate you guys coming. Make sure you share that video out with those in your community so that we can get more minorities, women, service-disabled veterans, small businesses making the move to government contracting. Trust me, there's enough to go around for everybody to be very, very successful and have $1 million businesses, because everybody's not going to do the work. I'm just here to say that. So trust me, there's more than enough to go around. You cannot possibly do it all. All right. So if you haven't liked this video, go ahead and do that. And we will be doing more lives. I used to do them every week. So we're going to do more, and we'll try to keep them a little bit shorter, within the maybe 20 minutes max. I'm going to try. But yeah, so I wish you guys an awesome rest of your day. And yes, this will be saved on the channel, so you can come back and watch it if you like. Have an awesome rest of your day. And remember, you're just one contract away. Bye for now.